Ladies and gentlemen, the Boots, Bow Ties, and Bandanas virtual gala will hold its first prize drawing in 5 minutes. And just a friendly reminder that the bidding for the silent auction closes at 8 p.m. Good luck! Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the first prize drawing of the evening. I have a special guest up here who's going to help me, who we'll get to know a little bit later if you don't already. But our first drawing is for 2 prix-fixe dinners for 4 at the Roots Restaurant in an Igloo, each gift card worth $200. And now we're going to find out who the winner is. If you wouldn't mind, please. Mixing it up.
Here we go.
All right. So the winning ticket is 576453. So you're watching at home, and I should have a name here for you in just a second, but it's 576453 is our winner. Again, this is going to be 2 $200 gift cards to the Roots Restaurant in an Igloo. You can either take friends or use 2 different times, either way you want to do it. Again, that number is 576453. And if we don't get a winner right now, we will get that back in touch with you soon here. And we'll probably come back to that, but we'll be beginning the program very shortly here. Congratulations to the winner. We'll have more prizes, more items, and we'll see you all very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, the live broadcast of our Boots, Bow Ties, and Bandanas virtual gala will begin in 1 minute. Good evening, everyone. My name is JJ Raderink, and I'm a host with the Gala team. I'm very excited to be here tonight for Boots, Bow Ties, and Bandanas, a gala to benefit Prospect Ridge Academy. Now, I'm actually a Colorado native, grew up just down the road in Longmont, went to Skyline High School, also the son of a former principal and superintendent, so I definitely have a close connection when it comes to schools and their fundraising needs, and so the opportunity to be here tonight is very special to me. I know why it's so important. I'm sure a lot of you do, and we're going to see in a little bit why it is so important right now and why we're all here this evening. Now, we know that social distancing might have stopped us from giving handshakes and hugs and pats on the back, but it doesn't stop us from showing our love and our commitment to a lot of wonderful organizations and a lot of wonderful schools like Prospect Ridge Academy. And that's why we're here tonight, and that's why it's so important. And so we thank you for being here with us this evening. Now, before we get too far down the road, I do want to give you a little bit of technology advice that can help you enjoy the evening. It can be difficult to watch the program and also bid or make contributions on the same device. So what we recommend is if you have a desktop or a laptop, go ahead and pull the program up there and you can watch it through there. And then if you have your cell phone with you, have that handy when it comes to making bids or contributions. Makes it a lot more enjoyable to watch it on one platform and make all those bids and donations on another there. Now, with me up here, I have three very special guests that I'd like to introduce. First, we have April Wilkin, elementary school principal with Prospect Ridge Academy. April, thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So excited to be here tonight. Thanks, JJ.
Yes, very, very nice to have you. We also have Steve Tygeson, and we're not going to let him get away without knowing this. It is his birthday today, and he chose to spend it with us. He's also the middle school principal at Prospect Ridge Academy. Steve, happy birthday, and also thank you for joining us.
Thanks for the acknowledgement, and thank you everybody for being here tonight. I'm excited to be a part of our first annual gala, and if I could, I just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge our community. I wanted to thank our students and our families for your kindness, your consideration, your feedback, and your resilience over the past year. We're grateful for what you've done for us here and for each other, and your character really is what makes PRA a great place to work. And I also quickly wanted to thank Patty and crew for their own resilience in overcoming the obstacles and making this happen tonight.
Yes, thank you very much to them. And again, thank you for spending your birthday with us. If all goes well, I won't subject you to singing anything, even happy birthday to you. So,
thank you.
We also have Adam Giacomo, the high school principal of Prospect Ridge Academy. Adam, thank you again for being here.
No, absolutely. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here tonight. I'm so glad the event's taking place. So glad that so many of you are joining us online, and really looking forward to the evening.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, April, Steve, Adam. We're going to get an opportunity to visit with them here in just a little bit. You're definitely going to want to stick around for that. But we'll be back with them here shortly. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's program. We're going to explain to you why we're doing a virtual gala. Everyone knows things are changing a little bit this year. We're also going to tell you how you can make bids and contributions. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to have a fireside chat with April, Steve, and Adam. And kids, if you're watching, you refer to them as Mr. and Mrs. there, but I can call them by first name. But also, when we visit with them, we'll get a better understanding of Prospect Ridge Academy and why it's so important to support them right now. We are going to conduct a paddle raiser so that everyone can get involved to help drive the mission of what we're doing. Fifth, we've got 5 live auction items, and these are really cool. I've seen some really fun ones before. You are definitely going to want to hear about these that we're going to highlight and get an opportunity to bid on these. 6, we are also going to get some live entertainment from Chris Vaught, who is a local high school teacher and a comedian, and then we'll wrap everything up from there. But to begin, I do want to catch everyone up and get everyone up to speed on what's going on. We know that the coronavirus has forced a lot of schools and nonprofits to cancel, postpone, or otherwise abandon their annual fundraising plans. So the board and the staff at Prospect Ridge Academy had a big decision to make. Should they postpone, not knowing when the crisis would end? Should they cancel and skip this year's event? But ultimately, we all concluded that canceling was too risky and it was too devastating to the fundraising needs. So that's why we're hosting a virtual gala. That's why we're here. That's why you're here. And once again, we can't say it enough. Thank you for making this a priority this evening. Item number 2 is to make sure you know how to bid and make contributions. again, like I said, if you have that desktop or laptop, go ahead and have the program pulled up there and then get that cell phone ready. And if you haven't already, I'm going to give you this website to make sure that you know how. It's PRAGALA2021.givesmart.com. So that's PRAGALA2021.givesmart.com. One more time, just to make sure everyone's good. It's PRA is in Prairie Ridge Academy, Gala, Gala, 2021.givesmart.com. Definitely make sure you get on there, especially when you see everything about Prairie Ridge Academy and you see a lot of these great live auction items. You are not going to want to miss out. Make sure you are registered to bid there. At this time, I'd like to introduce PRA board member, parent, and fundraising chair, Brandon Busby. Brandon, good evening, and thank you for joining me up here.
Thank you, JJ. It's exciting to be here this evening, and I want to start out the same way that everyone else started out, which is saying thank you so much to our PRA community, the parents, our staff, our administrators, the board of directors for really being resilient. I think resiliency is one thing, even today, right? Driving through the snow and making our way here. It's our community that really makes everything possible, but this year we've seen more fundraising success than we could have ever imagined or ever dreamed possible, and it's because this community has come alongside Prospect Ridge Academy and made it an incredible year. I want to say thank you to our 70 family sponsors who we saw on the drive line tonight picking up dinner and really making the drive, making an impact. Your contributions have contributed to tonight, and also want to highlight Storyteller Winery in Erie, which is run by a PRA family for donating the red wine tonight. Thank you very much. And if you haven't been looking through the auction items, we have 4 magnums from Storyteller there. Go ahead and bid those up and support our PRA family. We also have, I want to thank the Stockard and Houle family for the wine contributions. The wine wall, if you tried to buy wine from the wine wall this year, you were probably like many of us, out of luck. It sold out really quickly. So thank you for supporting the gala through the wine wall. I also want to thank our corporate sponsors. This year, as JJ was mentioning, has been challenging and devastating for many businesses in the community, and people have just been trying to figure out how to make it through. Yet, we've had companies and organizations come forward to support PRA even in the midst of those realities. And those contributions continue to help PRA thrive and grow. And so, so please, as you're seeing these sponsors on your screen, consider supporting these businesses. They've supported PRA in a really important time. So please take note of all of our sponsors from this evening. Specifically, I want to highlight 2 of our sponsors. 3 of our sponsors. First, our platinum sponsors. Hold on really quick. Sorry, I missed my notes, JJ. Thank you very much. I want to thank our platinum sponsors, Front Range Landfill and Waste Connections, for their platinum sponsorship, and then also want to thank our gold sponsors, Prentice Orthodontics. Thank you so much for your sponsorship and making tonight such a special evening.
Thank you to all our sponsors and for everybody. And it's an amazing group, and we see that PRA is obviously a special place and has been able to provide so much to the community, and it's nice that everyone recognizes that and makes this evening possible right here. So we know that, like a lot of schools, Prairie Ridge Academy has had quite the journey during this past year, and I don't think anybody knows that better than our principals. So I'm actually going to invite all of them back up to the stage. I'd like to bring back April Wilkin, Steve Tygeson, and Adam DiGiacomo. And this, a lot of people may think that this is intimidating for me. I spent so much time in principal's office to get all 3 of them from K through 12 in one area. This is like perfect here. But I really have got to enjoy them this evening. We've had a lot of fun, and I think we'll just kind of visit with them, have a little chat here about, again, why we're here this evening. And, Steve, I'm going to go with you first here. tell us, what makes Prospect Ridge Academy so special?
This is a hard question to narrow down because there's so many things that make this a special place. But I would say beyond our academics, I'll narrow it down to three things: our families, our culture, and the fact that we're a K-12. Our community, our families, we're really close-knit here. We are an extended family, and we're here for each other in good times and also in our times of need. I experienced this firsthand last year when I went through my own family crisis, and so many of my cohorts and families reached out to me to help me through that hard time. It really was special to me and something I'll never forget. It's also amazing to watch our kids fulfill our mission and vision as they volunteer in the community. And as a K-12, we're privileged to watch our kids grow from children to preteens to young adults while they're here at PRA. I'm grateful every day I walk through our doors in the morning because this really is a special place.
Yeah, it really is. I can tell that, in the time that I've been here. And Adam, I'll kind of pose the same question to you. What makes it so special?
Yeah, I'll just add to what Steve said. Prospect Ridge Academy is a place where we really are family, and the community is such a wonderful group of individuals, students, parents, staff, all really coming together. It's a place where everyone's really known, and I love that about Prospect Ridge Academy. We know our students, we know our students' siblings, we know their parents, we know grandma and grandpa a lot of times, and if the dogs come through the drive line, we happen to know the dogs as well. So
yeah, and that was evidenced tonight when folks were coming through to get their meals. Everyone knew everyone.
Yeah.
It was perfect there. That was really exciting for me to see. And April, I'm going to go ahead and turn to you. Obviously, this year's been a little bit different. I think a lot of us have been tested and gone through a lot of things. But what about this year has made us stronger here?
Well, you know what? Something that's always been important to PRA is that we always focus on the students. So at Prospect Ridge, kids come first. And we saw that shine this year, even through a pandemic. Everybody rallied together. Everybody made sure that the kids' needs were front and center. I would say, even though we didn't always agree on the approach for how to get through the pandemic, we made sure that we had what the kids needed in place to make them successful. The kids, the staff, the parents, everybody came around each other, even through these tough times. And one thing we also noticed is that we actually had an increase in stakeholder engagement this year. That was phenomenal. And so we had huge participation at our board meetings, which was great. And we want to continue to see that happen. I would also say something that made us stronger this year is we had something we like to call around here the COVID silver linings. And so these are kind of, what are some of the lessons we've learned or things that we've noticed that we are better now than we were a year ago? We could say technology. We've all grown in the area of technology. Our students can do things that they never even realized that they could do. Our staff, same thing. Staff, you know what I'm talking about. Parents, you also have grown in your patience, in your ability to be a teacher at home, in your ability to be patient with us too as we figure this out. It's been pretty incredible, and it's really brought our community together.
Yeah, and it is special to see. Sometimes when you're tested like this, it's amazing what people come together and do, and Prospect Ridge Academy has showcased that throughout this year, and to find any silver lining has been great. And Adam, I'll ask the same question to you. What about this year has made us stronger?
I've been absolutely amazed with the incredible flexibility that our students, our parents, our staff have shown this entire year. Of course, with the pandemic, even this weekend, the incredible flexibility we've shown as we're shifting instruction on a day-to-day basis as well. So it's been a pretty remarkable year in that regard. I'm also amazed at the successes we've had as a school and really proud of the work that our students and our families and our staff have put into this year. We've seen successes in academics that are fantastic in terms of our students' achievement. We've also seen great successes in terms of engagement and enrollment in our school as well. Our enrollment for next year is stronger than ever. And so just really great time to be at Prospect Ridge Academy.
Yeah, I like that, just stronger than ever. Let's just keep going down that path there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I have this right. We're celebrating the 10th anniversary, okay? And we've been holding fundraisers since then. And April, I'm going to ask you, how have the fundraising needs kind of shifted over time?
Yeah, well, they've definitely shifted, but I'm going to back up a second
Okay.
and focus on something really important, which is that we've made it to 10 years, which is huge. Families, a lot of you have been here since the very beginning. You know what a big deal this is. Maybe you were here for the dirt playground. Maybe you were here for our temporary building, or maybe you came in when the high school was being built, or maybe you were here for the next round of renovation. As you know, we've done that a couple of times, grown and expanded as a school. No matter where you came in on our journey, it's been an incredible 10 years here at PRA. It's been really amazing. And I would say that what we've noticed is that now we have more sustainable giving. So in the early years, we were really just trying to get off the ground, get things started. All of those dollars went into operations, but now we can do something even bigger and better. We actually, for the first time this year, were able to start something called the PRA Excellence Fund, which is really exciting, but I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to save that for a little bit later.
Okay, well, cliffhanger. But Steve, I'll ask the same question to you since I was left with that there. How have the fundraising needs kind of shifted over time?
Well, as April mentioned, when at the beginning of the schools, the funds were simply used to keep the lights on. And now, as we've grown and matured as a school, we're able to fund specific needs such as athletic buses and our long-awaited playground. Also, we are able to branch into some new areas, which we'll divulge in just a minute.
2 cliffhangers there, so that's all right. But I think we'll like that. So I'll move on, and since they left us there, I'm going to turn back to Adam here. And Adam, I understand that there might be an exciting announcement that you have to share with us tonight.
Yeah, I think this next announcement really has come into fruition because of the incredible generosity of our community. And for those members in our community who have given to the PRA Excellence Fund, this would not have been possible if not for them. And so tonight we are announcing that we've created 2 scholarships for our high school seniors as they go off to college that we're honoring our founding families, so our founding family scholarships. And so these will be available to our seniors this year and from every year moving forward as well. So really excited about that opportunity in terms of those scholarship dollars going to our kids and our families to support our mission and vision as a college prep school.
That is fantastic. That is phenomenal to hear. And Steve, I'd like to see, you left us with the last cliffhanger there. Can you fill us in a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about 2 grants that we created based on the funds that we received from our kind community. The first is our Minors in Community grant, and this is the grant we've created to help for those who want to put our mission and vision into action. So if you have an idea for a field trip, a community service project, or a guest speaker, for example, I encourage you to look at the Minors in Community grant as a possible source of funds for your idea. We also have the Minors Help Minors grant, and this is for individual students to have what they need to succeed at PRA. So if you know a student, or if you are a student with some financial needs, I encourage you to look at the Minors Help Minors grant. And some ideas for funding could be technology, athletic fees, club fees, something like that. It doesn't have to be limited to those, but something that's going to help some of our students in need.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, pretty close to the school system, especially here in Colorado. And I can tell you firsthand, I know the stories when my dad would come home about the needs that are out there for a lot of students, and anything we can do to help fulfill those, it goes a long, long way. Sometimes you don't even realize the intangible benefit that comes out of it, but trust me, it's definitely there. And Steve, I'm going to go ahead and stick with you there. And so, what are some other needs that you've identified that could be aided through fundraising, and why is that need so great right now?
Well, we have made some great strides with our fundraising, but we would like to be able to say yes to more. And this is where you, our community, your role comes in tonight.
Yeah, for sure, because we're planning for the future of PRA, as you heard us say before. So we've gotten to 10 years, and now we're heading towards our next 10 years, and then the next 10 years. And so we want that to be a really bright future for our students, and we want to be able to really target our giving at this point. And speaking of targeted giving, something we're really excited to focus on, and it's really happening, we promise you, because we have the architect and everybody lined up, so it's really happening, is the playground. So no more mud, no more mud. Yeah, just pause on that thought for a second. No more mud.
Hey.
And maybe even no more wood chips if we can make that happen. So our playground, not only will it not have mud, it will also have some other cool features, like an outdoor classroom. We're going to have some tiered play spaces. And as you know at PRA, the learning is really important, the playing is really important, and all of those together help us to grow our kids. So we're able to have them grow and learn and thrive at PRA. And so that targeted giving is going to make a big difference.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, we kind of smile about the playground, but it all is all-encompassing. Every aspect of the school can contribute to each student's success. Each one of them learn a little bit different ways. So everything we can give them is very, very important, very vital. Kind of one more question here, and Adam, I'm going to come back to you. And our audience is out there, and go ahead and tell them what they can do to help tonight.
Well, a big part of it, they're already doing it, which is they're joining us tonight and they're joining us online. And it's wonderful to see so many folks out there supporting PRA. You can support us in so many ways. There's some incredible items through the silent auction and also the live auction, so please keep bidding. Hopefully you'll end up going home with some of those items as well as the paddle race, which will be taking place here shortly. And I really want to encourage everybody to participate in the paddle race at a level that's really meaningful to you and to your family. It makes a huge difference for us here at PRA. So.
Yeah, fantastic. And April, can you kind of wrap up? Last question to you. What can the audience do to help?
Well, what you can do is what Adam just described. Donate right now on your phone. As a matter of fact, some of you are doing that right now and you're outbidding me. So I need to get off the stage so I can bid against you because I really want some of these things.
Well, that sounds great. And April Wilkin, Adam DiGiacomo, and birthday boy Steve Tygeson, thank you so much for joining me up here. Really appreciate all that. And now let's all enjoy what makes PRA so special.
Our future. These are the change makers, the passionate, the courageous, the innovators. They set out to impact the world and rise above the rest. Champions of the weak, ready to create a more equitable world. These are the ones that will discover new medical treatments and have vision beyond today. These are the ones that will construct future cities, shape a better tomorrow, and who will care for our Earth. Because of these changemakers, humans will explore new frontiers, find new discoveries, create cures, and design tomorrow's masterpieces. They will inspire future generations. They will be authors of new innovations, fueled by promise, potential. Donors make change possible. Provide PRA athletes transport, scholarships to college, access to new technologies. Donors supply added safety measures and improve air quality in the classroom. Prospect Ridge Academy donors change lives.
You are the change makers who make this possible. You give us opportunities to do more, to innovate, to champion ideals and create masterpieces. You catalyze growth and discovery, fund grants to live our mission as a community, and create leaders of tomorrow. Together, we raise our eyes to what can be done and what can be built. Together, we will impact the world and rise above the rest. Together, we have vision beyond today. Together, we are the creators, the innovators, the authors of pure potential. Together, we can overcome hard times, make a difference, and create a stronger community. Together, we can achieve more. Together, we build hope, support to our students, and provide all tools needed to our teachers. Together, we change the future for our future. We are the change makers that have made PRA remarkable for the past 10 years and for future years. We are PRA, creating academic, social, and ethical leaders.
What a great video, and again, it just shows why PRA is so unique, and it gives you a small glimpse into the world of what they're doing and the impact it's having. So thank you to the team that put that together. We've reached the time in our program now where all of us can get involved to make a difference. It's now time for our paddle raiser, and I think we know that alone, there's only so much we can do, but collectively, as a team, as a community, which Prospect Ridge Academy is known for, we can come together and do so much more and make so much more of an impact. Now, as a reminder, to donate for the paddle raiser, you want to go to pragala2021.givesmart.com. One last time, pragala2021.givesmart.com. And again, go ahead and get on there, hopefully on your mobile device, so you can make a contribution during this time. And I do want to say that we're going to ask for support at different levels, and we hope that all of you will contribute at least once when you hear a level that matches your means and your commitment to this school and everything they're doing. And understand that no matter what level it is, it all has an impact. Everything is a positive, so anything that you can give that matches that means, matches that commitment is so appreciated, and we especially need it right now. And so at this time, and I've got him back up here, I'd like to bring back Brandon Busby to share some of his stories on how those donations can make a difference. And our first level today is going to be $2,500. So if there's anyone else out there that would like to donate $2,500, now would be a great time. And I'm actually going to turn to Brandon here and say, Brandon, what could $2,500 possibly do for Prospect Ridge Academy?
JJ, thank you for that. And thank you for mentioning that it's really gifts at every level that make an impact at PRA. It's the whole community participating and coming together to support the great work that's being done here. At the $2,500 level, when we think about gifts of $2,500, that really is a gift that impacts the entire student community in different ways. What do I mean by that? So earlier this year, when it was about a year ago, suddenly we had the need to make sure every student had access to technology. And not just any technology, but quality computers that they could have at home. We didn't know how long remote learning would endure. And suddenly we found ourselves as a one-to-one technology school where kids were having devices and everyone had that access. The school gets an incredible discount for those computers, right? But 10 of those computers, a gift of $2,500 would make 10 of those computers possible for that many students. We also had to make a shift with COVID for air filters. We have stronger and better, and I hope the whole staff community would attest to, high quality air filters. And when we think about changing those in and out constantly and the health and safety, not just of our staff, but of our students and our whole community going forward, it's thinking about changing those air filters out, right? But really, you know, it's not necessarily about the things you can buy with $2,500, but it's about the impact that it has. It touches every member of our community, staff members, our students. I also think the other day, I was watching my son, who's a kinder, and he was in a character assembly. And, you know, just hearing that, you know, education isn't just about the head knowledge, it's also about the person you're becoming, the social and ethical leader that you're becoming. And my son, you know, hearing that lesson and reflecting on what it would mean for him to win a character award, it's things like that, or the professional development that takes place, those things, gifts of $2,500, lift that all up, make that kind of access available for every single student and staff member in our community. So that's when we talk about that $2,500 level, that's the kind of community impact those kind of gifts have.
Yeah, I love that word community. I can feel it. You know, it's something that's, like I said, it's almost tangible. You can feel it, how everyone comes together. And watching the food line, the dinner line tonight, you know, as people came through, you could kind of see that. And we don't have anyone quite yet at the $2,500 level that I can see on my ticker here. But hopefully, again, if there's someone out there, we're going to leave that open. And if you feel that that level matches your means and your commitment, that would be fantastic. You'd be a pioneer at that level. But I'm going to go ahead and highlight some of our other levels here. And at any point, anyone can jump in. Make sure you've gone onto that website there. And I'm going to go to the $1,000 level. And Brandon, I'm going to turn it over to you about the impact $1,000 could also have.
Yeah, so I talked, JJ, about the $2,500 level really making an impact for our whole community. At a $1,000 level, what we've seen is that level really opens up access. And what do I mean by access? So for grandparents out there that may be tuning in, you may have noticed that at the beginning of this year, at some point in this year, it all blends together at some point, we had installed cameras, live cameras, inside of the PRA gym so that folks could watch our students, their neighbors, their friends play sports, whether it's volleyball or our incredible women's basketball team, seeing a lot of the great things that happen in that gym. Each of those cameras is about $1,000 to install, and that opens up that access for our community to be able to see the awesome things that are happening even in a time of social distancing. The other thing that I think about is we just, because of the generosity of our community, we're able to get those PRA buses where they're literally being built right now. And gifts of $1,000 really are going to ensure that they're going to put gas in the tank for one team at a time, right, for a whole season. That's what that $1,000 will make sure we get done. So it's about access to, different venues, but also access for our external community to really see the great things that are happening here at PRA.
Well, I have great news for you, Brandon. We do have an anonymous donor at that $1,000 level, so thank you to whoever is out there. While you were speaking, we had a donation from Rachel Vara, hopefully I say that correctly, who donated at $2,500 at our first level there. So Rachel, thank you very much. To our anonymous donor, thank you. And also, and again, I do apologize, folks, if I say any of these names incorrectly, we have another $1,000 donor, Anja Smith, A-N-G-A. Thank you, Anja Smith, for that $1,000. I'm really sorry if that name is wrong, but trust me, the impact is felt and it is real. So we really appreciate that. So just to get us started there, thanks to Rachel, Anja, and our anonymous donor here, we're already at $4,500 getting us going in the paddle race. And again, this is open. You can jump in at any level that works well for you. And I'm going to go ahead and let Brandon tell us a little bit more. And I'm going to move to $500 here. And Brandon, let the folks know maybe what $500 has the possibility of doing.
Absolutely. And thank you for those of you that are contributing right now. We really, really appreciate it. At the $500 level, what we really look at here is $500 at PRA really opens experiences. What I mean by that is it's dollars to support our student clubs and organizations. So if you've spent any time upstairs, you've seen the robotics lab and you've seen students tinkering and driving robots in the middle of the hallway, and it's awesome. $500 really helps make things like that possible. I think about our Women in STEM group as well, our student group, Women in STEM, student-driven clubs like the Business Club, Model UN, elementary school leadership, which is a great experience, and our first Lego League as well. I also think if you have a fifth grader, or maybe if you have a sixth grader or seventh grader, go on down the line, you've had an experience at Calwood. And that experience is incredible for so many of our fifth graders, and a gift of $500 makes sure every PRA student is experiencing Calwood. Or if you're in seventh grade, Camp Timberline, right? So maybe some of you high school parents are remembering Camp Timberline. $500 opens up that experience for another seventh grader to make that possible. Also, you heard Adam speak earlier about the new scholarships that we had announced, and $500 opens up that kind of scholarship. We also have classroom experiences that money makes possible. So lots opens up at the $500 level, kind of in different smaller pockets throughout PRA, but $500 absolutely goes to work at PRA.
And it is going to go to work. You've got a lot now to work with here. We have 6 folks at that level. Awesome. We have another anonymous donor. We have a couple of anonymous donors actually in here. We also have Celeste Hutchinson, Gina Wilson, and Sherry Raborti at the $500 level there. Thank you very much. 6 of them. That makes $3,000. And I have some other good news for you, Brandon. While we were talking, Steve Peruza donated at the $1,000 level there. So that's 3 folks there. That's 1 at the $2,500 level. And if my math serves me correctly, we're already at $8,500 right now through those first 3 levels. And as we're saying that, we had Shira Pipkin come in at $500 there. That puts us, I believe, at $9,000 already. And I would encourage you folks, I know we're going to get there in the paddle raiser. It's just a lot easier with even numbers. So I'd love to see maybe a couple more people jump in at that $500 level, get us to an even 10,000. Again, we know we're going to get there. I was just maybe trying to do it sooner or later. But thank you everybody so far that has donated and contributed, and we hope that those keep piling in there. And we do have one more, Heather Richards. At the $500 level. Thank you very much. That puts us at 8 there. And again, that puts us at $9,500 so far. If there's anybody else before I sneak to the next level there that wants to jump on in, it's certainly open for you, and we'd love to see that there. I'd love to see that jump to 10,000 at this level. And hopefully we can get just a couple more there, and we would love to see it there. I am going to go ahead and move on here. And again, all those levels are open at the $250 level. And Brandon, fill us in on what that has the possibility of doing.
Yeah, so at the $250 level, we're really talking about classroom level impact to really help make sure all the resources are available for our staff and community to make that impact at the classroom level. Some of you may know we've got Career Day coming up here, maybe end of this week, early next week. It's probably in someone's calendar that Career Day is coming up. It's about connecting students to information about what career opportunities are possible, getting them excited about their future, and really feeling inspired to think about college or their steps after high school. It's also, we got a new art trailer, right? Many of you have driven by the elementary school, you saw the new art trailer, fitting that out, right? That impact is made at the $250 level, and again is felt with more and more people joining at the $250 level.
Well, and you can feel that coming in. I'm going to get to some of those folks there, but I do want to let everyone know Tracy Cobold jumped in at the $500 level, so within those first three, you got us to that even 10,000, so thank you very much. And at the $250 level, we see this filling up already. We have Mary Sachs, April Wilkin, Naomi Boyer, Brian Hull, or Huel? Huel, that's it, thank you for you being here. Amy Barnett, Aaron Abramson. So that's 6 folks at the $250 level. That puts us at $1,500 at that level. So if I'm not mistaken, I think already there we're at $11,500. This is fantastic, and it looks like things are still coming in. Again, that's open for you. So anyone who feels like they found something there, certainly we encourage them to jump in at any of those levels there. And we are going to highlight and move to our last level of the evening. And Brandon, I'd like you to tell us, again, like we mentioned earlier, every single dollar matters. Every single dollar is for good and it counts. What can $100 possibly do for Prospect Ridge Academy?
Yeah, JJ, when we think about the $100 level, it really is about the collective impact. Because one family may be sitting there saying, what would $100 really get done at PRA? But think if there's 9 or 10 other families that are sitting on the fence like that, that's $1,000. With those 10 families, that's $1,000. And that collective impact really makes a difference at PRA. It's our families stepping up to make a difference in the lives of our students. And it's also, if you want to think about it, if you're more practical, it's let's do one bus trip or 2 buses going to one location. It's a trip for our students on a field trip, for a sporting event. But really at the $100 level, it's about not sitting on the sidelines saying somebody else is going to do that or they don't really need that. It's about everybody saying, hey, I have a role to play here at PRA and contributing at that level.
Yeah, and I would like to highlight some of those folks. And also to let you know, we did have a few more at some other levels there. Tara Dings, I believe, at the $500 level. Thank you very much. We had 3 more at $250, which was Tosh Grebenek, Jennifer Regensberger, and Jackie Bonavita at the $250 level there. And the $100 level, this is really cool. This is kind of like watching your best stock market price go up, because I'm seeing all these folks come in here. Hopefully I can get to almost all of them. We have Iki Chan, Heather Drake, Angela Perusa, Jill Smith, Jennifer Webster, Colleen Wilson, John Diltz, Sarah Hury, Allison Schimmer, David Nelson, Lindsay Boomy? Okay, I was hoping maybe. Alan Eccles, and Ellis Blevins. And again, that's 14 at the $100 level. They're coming in like crazy. We encourage people to keep putting it in at whatever level, again, matches your means and is comfortable for you. And I believe, if I have my math correctly here, we're at about $15,320 already on the paddle raiser there. We had another one, Jessica Stubbs, come in at the $100 level. And we actually have another at the $50 donation here. We've got some folks that I'd like to just mention before we kind of move on there. But Tracy Billings, Ellis Blevins there, Julie Caudell, Jennifer Gronberg, Chelsea Harris, R.G. McFadden, Ellis McNamara, Rodden Mashani, Wendy Natras, and Rose Ungakta. And again, I apologize to anyone if I might have butchered that a little bit, but we do appreciate everything, and we know the impact. We've seen that firsthand. And so everything that we did here tonight, again, that's going to be open for a little bit, and if there's any more that you can, we certainly encourage you. You've seen the impact that that's having. So thank you, everyone, for your generosity and your commitment to Prospect Ridge Academy. And together, we've definitely given the financial support that we need to keep going at this important mission, especially in a tough time like that. Now, in fact, I'm going to ask you to stay up here, if you wouldn't mind, Brandon. We had a guest for our last one here. And just to get back, it's time for our second prize drawing. Our first prize drawing, the dinner at Roots, goes to the Portillo family, so congratulations to them. We're going to go to the second prize drawing now. We'd like to remind you also, before we read off this number, to stay tuned for local comedian Chris Voth, and you will not be disappointed. It is fantastic. It is entertaining. Trust me, stick around for that. It is well worth it. Perfect entertainment, especially on a Monday evening here. But we encourage you now to go ahead and get your tickets ready, and this prize drawing is for an Oculus Quest 2 with the carrying case, and it's worth around $500 or close to that. And the winner is, and if you didn't win, it's not on me, it's on Brandon here. No. But the winner is 576297. Again, that number is 576297. So if you are the lucky holder of the number of the ticket, 576297, you just got yourself an Oculus Quest 2 with the carrying case. And hopefully we can get a name for you on that one shortly here. But again, that is 576297. And if it pops up here, I'll let you know who that is. And actually, we do have a winner. This is for the Epps family. So congratulations to the Epps family. You will now get the Oculus. And if I'm not mistaken, they'll live in a virtual reality world, which a little escape from last year. I don't think that's such a bad idea. So congratulations to the Epps family there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for everything you've done. And like I promised, we've got some great live auction items that we'd like to highlight. Now, this is different than live auction items in the past. Actually, you've all had a chance to preview and begin bidding on these featured items since they went live on Friday. And now we're going to highlight some of these. And just to let you know, after we highlight them, the bidding is going to close very shortly after. So after we highlight them, make sure that you get your bids in for these, because they will be closing soon. But there still is time right now. Okay, our first live auction item, its items, I should say, are K through 8 premier parking and high school premier parking spaces. This is a race to the top. The top 3 bidders will win one of 3 parking spaces at the K through 8 building, or one of 3 parking spaces at the high school level. And if there's anything that we learned about this weekend, it is that parking is an absolute priority. Who wants to walk across the parking lot that maybe hasn't been plowed very well? Who doesn't want to be right there when it turns hot in the summer? These you're going to want to get your bids in as soon as you can on these. Now, here's the deal with these. You're going either through the K through 8 building parking spaces or the high school ones. We're saying it's to the top 3 bidders, okay? What you want to do is, if you're in that top 3, you will win these when the items close here, okay? So if you're first, second, or third, you will win those. If you're first or second, you're going to get a discount, and you're going to pay what the third place person is paying for theirs. But the trick is on these items is to just bid and be first or second. You're going to get a discount. You're going to get these premier parking spaces. So you want to make sure that you get your bids in there and you're at the top. You're still going to get a discount. It's a nice little surprise. And right now, the K through 8 parking spaces, the top bid is $5,000. So you definitely want to get close to that because you know that second and third are right behind it. And for our high school premier parking, it's at $4,750 for those 1 of 3 parking spaces. Again, those are the top bids, but you want to be close to those anyway, so that to secure those, even if you're the top one or the second one, you are going to get a discount and you're going to pay the third price there, but make sure you're running those in there, get those bids in there. You do not want to miss out on those premier parking spaces. That's the gift that keeps giving all year long. I think we all can agree on that. All right. So as you're thinking about the parking spaces there, and they can be used by any family member, I do want to mention that the package does include the family name plaque. So people will also know that you got there. So I apologize I didn't mention that. A little more incentive to get those bids in there to get that family name plaque, and any family member can use that there. So get the bids in. That item will be closing soon. We're going to move to our second auction item here. This one, I may have trouble not bidding on. This is one of the neater ones I've heard. This is principal for half a day, and we're selling this 3 times. Currently, this is at $500, okay? So again, this is a race to the top. Just like we said before, the top 3 bidders are going to win. You want to get those in because whatever the third place is, that's what 1, 2, and 3 will pay. I cannot think of a cooler item when I heard about this one. You get to run the school. You get to experience a day in the life of Mrs. Wilkin. You get to dress like a professional, help with the driveline, pass out positive office referrals, help with administrative tasks, get an official PRA badge, and have lunch in the principal's office with 2 friends. So I don't think you're going to have to really deal with a lot of big problems throughout the day necessarily, but I do think this will be a really fun one. The kids will get to enjoy you. Something really fun. You know, your kids, if you have them, or your friends' kids, that'll be really fun. We promise not to put anything too difficult on your plate, but principal for half a day, and again, we're offering that 3 opportunities there. Get those bids in. Again, it's only sitting at $500 right now. Make sure you're driving those up there. You definitely want to do that, and you will get a discount if you're first or second. So get in there and don't miss an opportunity to get back at those principals. We can finally see what it looks like from their side there. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to auction item number 3, and these are 2 Prairie Ridge Academy Athletics All Access Passes. This is currently sitting right now at $150, and what this does is this allows you to enjoy all access passes, good for all PRA high school home games for the 2021-2022 season. This is good for volleyball, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, track and field, you name it. You don't have to worry about anything. You just show up, you've got your passes, you get to support these high school students, and this is good for every event. You get to fill your social calendar for 2021 through 2022. The all access pass there to all the athletics that are going on in that season. Again, sitting at about $150 right now. This is a great opportunity not to miss out and to support these students, especially in all the endeavors there. So please get your bids on that one. That item will be closing here very soon. All right, we're going to go ahead and move to auction item number 4. This is an exclusive guided fly fishing experience. Currently, this is sitting at $800, and this is what this all entails. This is a fishing adventure for 2 anglers in stunning Taylor Park, Colorado. This is a 2-night, 1-day guided fly fishing adventure, and it's either for a novice or for the experienced fly anglers alike. Included in this, listen to this is important, are meals and lodging in a very remote, accommodating cabin surrounded by Gunnison National Forest and the Collegiate Peaks Wilderness. Fishing instruction and equipment are also included. So all you have to do is show up, have a change of clothes, maybe have some warm clothes there, but you're going to get a guided fishing tour. Again, this is for 2 nights, 1-day guided fly fishing. Doesn't matter if you've done it before, doesn't matter if you're very experienced. Great opportunity here. You're going to get to stay in a great cabin, Great area, very serene, going to be fantastic. And again, right now that is sitting at about $800. Don't miss out on that one. That item, like everything here, is going to close very soon. So let's make sure we get all of our bids in on that one to not miss out on the fly fishing tour there. All right, now we're going to move to our final live auction item of the evening, and this is a 3-night stay in Fraser, Colorado. Now currently, this is sitting at $3,500. Now listen to this, you are definitely going to want to get your bids in here. This is a 3-night stay at the Batson Family Cabin, the Emberwood Lodge in Fraser, Colorado. This property sleeps 36 people, you heard that right, 36 people. I can't think of a better way to entertain folks, maybe especially after the year we've had. Escape things for a little while. And it's a perfect for a mountain escape for family reunions, work retreats, or just getting together with a lot of friends. And this is a great opportunity right here. Again, 36 people. This is a 3-night stay at the Batson Family Cabin in the Emberwood Lodge in Fraser, Colorado. Again, this one is sitting at $3,500 here. I'm seeing some of our live auction items here. The principal for half a day has jumped to $600. You're not going to want to miss out on that. The athletics all access passes has jumped to $200. Again, you can get into all those events, support the students with everything there. And folks, we've got all these items are going to be closing very, very soon. So we encourage you, not only are they great auction items and a lot of fun, but we know that the cause that they're serving, we know the good that they're doing. So get those in before they close here too soon. Now that's going to conclude our live auction. We want to say congratulations to the people that end up winning those, so make sure that you get those bids in. We're grateful for everyone. And now I'm pleased to introduce local comedian Chris Voth. Our guest speaker today is a comedian who has been performing for 20 years and has made national TV appearances on Last Comic Standing, Comics Unleashed, and The Late Late Show. He's a regular at Comedy Works, a national tour headlining, and one of Ron White's openers. In addition, he is a full-time high school teacher and varsity basketball coach. He was named a Mile High Teacher of the Year and holds a doctorate in education. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chris Voth.
And hold for applause. It's great. Thank you very much. It's always good to walk up to complete silence. It feels good. It feels good. It feels like I'm teaching. Hey, there's a couple people we should thank right away. First of all, great job on the names. Jaja, is that how you pronounce it? JJ, that's how you pronounce it. It's a little tricky. I just love seeing other people struggle with that. And all of the people who've donated, so I know you can't hear anything, but you should applaud at home. Make a lot of noise and applaud for all the people who've donated. And there was an anonymous one. You're welcome. I didn't want to bring it up right away, but I thought I'd just try to help out where I could. All right, so I'm going to go for about an hour and a half, and then we'll bring this thing down. And that's not accurate, so if you're tuned out already. Just like has been mentioned before, I also am a Colorado native, so I'm very happy to be here, Colorado native. And like most Colorado natives, I was born and raised in California, so just great to be out here. I've been out here 20 years, so it's okay. I'm part of a group you disliked years ago. You know what's great is there are people here, but they're also silent. So this is really good just to feel the energy in the room. You can't feel it at home probably, but you can feel it here. It's really starting to bubble over. I actually have not been home to see my family in almost a year now. It's almost been a year since I've been home to see my family. I'm excited to do that this summer. I'm going to go home, and whenever I go home, I see my nephew. I have a niece and a nephew, I think, and they're great, amazing. My nephew, whenever he sees me, I don't know if you do this, but my nephew, Uncle Chris, he comes running towards me. I always pick him up and I blow in his stomach, make that fart noise. I don't know if you guys ever do that, right? There's like that. He's 15 and he's a big kid. He really is. He's hard to get up there, but you can do it. It's just about leverage. He's really big. He's pretty heavy, pretty sweaty too. He's a big guy, but he loves it, and his friends like it too. It's kind of weird, but everybody gets 2 turns. You know how it is. It's a house rule. Everybody goes through twice. So I grew up in a little town in Northern California, and I like maybe like this school here at Prospect Ridge, I got to really grow and do some amazing things. For instance, I was really into sports. Super athletic. You can obviously see that even from home. You can probably, maybe not. But here's the deal. I should say it this way. I self-identify as super athletic. I feel like I was born that way. Just the outside of my body belies that. And there's people here trying to hold in the laughter. You can laugh. It's okay. That actually wouldn't be bad to have some noises. I mean, the lights are making buzzing sounds. You can feel it. Anyway, I was into sports. I had a couple bad incidents growing up, and I'm not even talking about the time I was hit by a pitch in T-ball years ago. We don't have time to get in that story, actually, because it's a quick show, but concussion, actually pretty serious. Anyway, but I got to high school, and I went to a great high school, probably not as great as this one, but a great high school, and had a couple. Here's what happened. Kids in like PE class was always rough because kids made fun of me a lot because I'm all hairy and stuff. And yeah, I know. They used to call me Cashmere, which is just a nickname, ladies. But we would play shirts and sweaters or whatever just to sort of split up the teams. And so good thing we didn't have that camera back then. But yeah. If you're a younger person at home, you may not know this, and maybe this isn't the best time to talk about, but it's about learning, so this will be a good learning opportunity. Body hair is the hair that does not recede. That's something you're going to find out as you get older. You're like, yeah, that's not going away. That just sort of kind of fills in. So recently, instead of getting a belly button ring, I just got a scrunchie just to sort of organize it and keep it together. And there's some odd things going on here. Yes, yes, exactly. So that's maybe you've heard about this too. This is a pretty big deal. I don't know if this is breaking news or not, but I had my appendix out not long ago. Some of you guys heard about that? Okay, yeah, at home. Some of you are starting to nod. I can see at home. You're like, this sounds familiar. Some of you have not heard that yet, and you're just finding out now, and you're thinking, wow, this guy had major surgery, and he's just telling jokes tonight. This is incredible. And I don't know what words come to mind, but probably courageous is one of them. The word hero gets thrown around. But here's what happened, is my stomach started hurting pretty bad. This is last year. My stomach is hurting. I thought, I must have tweaked a muscle in my stomach. And then I remembered I don't have muscles in my stomach, right? I don't even think that's a real thing. And so I ignored it, A couple days go by. It's getting way worse. I think, okay, there's no way this from doing crunches 3 years ago. This might be something serious. May need to get it checked out. So I go to the doctor. Some people say doctors, but it's just the one guy. And he says, yeah, you got appendicitis. You're going to have surgery. 2-hour surgery. Hour and a half of that was shave time, but still 2 hours total, right? If you count the whole thing. And yeah, they did count the whole thing. It was 2 hour and a half supercut rate, and the last half hour doctor rate. You should prorate that. But anyway, I woke up from surgery. I looked down. They did here's what they did. They just shaved a bald circle to get in there. They did not blend it in with the rest of it at all. They had the clippers out, right? They could give you a fade over the side or something. No, just a big old bald spot. It was pretty embarrassing. I had to grow this part over, grow this out, and then comb it over, just like that. So you could see. I'm just going to wait for. I'm sure a lot of you at home are applauding, probably standing and applauding. You can't hear it, but it's happening. So I grew up in like I said, in a small town, and for whatever reason, I wanted to be a comedian. That was my goal. I wanted to be a comedian, and I thought someday, if I work very hard, I can do a show on a Monday night in a cafeteria in front of 4 people. And that is the goal, right? It sort of looks like a garage, but it's a cafeteria. And that, yeah, you don't start here, right? You work your way up. I've been on TV a couple times, all that stuff just to get to here. So I appreciate that. So I moved to Los Angeles. That's where I moved first. And just like you have been here at Prospect Ridge, we're fostering those sort of goals and those dreams. And first place I worked at when I moved to Los Angeles, I worked at a place called Disneyland. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that place. I'll wait for people to acknowledge. Okay. This is good. So I like to just get the interaction with you at home so you can see that. If you're not familiar with Disneyland and you live in the Denver metro area, this is great because it's sort of like Lakeside. It's kind of like No, it is not. It is not like Lakeside. It is. You don't get stabbed every time you go to Disneyland. So it's different. It's different. And I know. If you're not familiar with Lakeside and you want to go, here's a local tip. Favorite ride, the best ride is the ambulance. It's the safest. It certainly is. The line's pretty long, but it's worth it. It really is. So anyway, we do love the people at Lakeside. We kid, of course. So I worked at Disneyland, and the reason I worked there is because I went there when I was in like 4th or 5th grade, and went on the Jungle Cruise. That's a ride there at Disneyland where there's a guy telling jokes, which amazed me because that's what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to tell jokes eventually in a garage like cafeteria. And so I thought this would be a good stepping stone. And this guy, I couldn't believe it because he's telling jokes at Disneyland. So like this is a dream job inside of a magical place, right? So it's like being an astronaut inside of Casa Bonita. You get like that combination of two incredible things you can't believe would go together. And it's a lot of gas. And so anyway, I worked there. It was great. I had a fantastic time. And I got to experience that as I was on my way to becoming a comedian. And here's something odd, and this will get huge, applause here locally in the room, is that when you work at this, here's something I just thought about, is that you never run into someone you know when you're on It's a Small World. Isn't that crazy? Seems like you would. It would. Okay. I'll let some of you guys work through that at home. We're just kind of, pausing for some of this. I just don't want to rush through all this. So I wanted to be a comedian, as I mentioned, and I thought I'm going to have maybe some other jobs. Problem there, lazy. I'm not a hard worker, and I don't know if anyone at home is lazy. Yeah, you can admit it there because you're at home. But I've been lazy my whole life. I used to ride the bus to homeschool, and that's years ago. But it happened. I used to have all my pop-up books on tape, and so I'm not a hard worker. And so I was trying to figure out what are those jobs I could do where I wouldn't have to do a whole lot, right? Like a seedless watermelon planter or something like that, and maybe teach science at an Amish school, something simple. And I figured out one of the jobs I've had over the years, because again, I've worked as a Salvation Army bell ringer. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. That is a great job. It's $5 an hour plus tips. And the money is amazing. It's really incredible. So if you're looking for a side job during the holidays, yes, a lot of coins. Yes, you will get a lot of coins, but you can just take it down to the club and make it hail. Not as popular. I'm going to tell you that right now. Not as popular, but still a weather system. So anyway, so I had all these jobs, and at some point I moved to Colorado, and like I said, I've been here for over 20 years, and we all love Colorado, right? Make some noise at home, and the couple of people here that won't speak or laugh or anything, they're holding in the laughter as if that's going to bother me. Again, it's not like class. You don't have to be totally silent when I tell the hilarious jokes. So I moved here, and I love all about, especially the Denver area. And I think for a long time I lived over by City Park downtown, and we have incredible parks in Colorado, am I right? Especially the metro area. We got amazing parks, especially if you like watching geese walk around. We have, I think the best geese walkers in the country. Maybe I'm biased, but I think, yeah, incredible. Yes, they could fly, but they've chosen not to, and we're cool with that. We're like, yeah, that's great. Hang out in the park. You have the gift of flight. You could go anywhere in the world, but yeah, hang out in the park. That'd be great. And I think this is just a theory of mine. I think geese know humans want to fly, and they're rubbing it in our faces. Yeah. And here's how you know, because they get in a line, they walk across the street, and they hold up traffic. Right? If you could fly, would you ever walk across the street? No, you wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even walk to the kitchen if I could fly. I'll tell you that right now. Fridge, back to the couch, never touch the ground. But anyway, so I live by the park, and but not long ago, I actually bought a house, and I'll wait for applause again because it's a big deal. Yep. Many of you are like, there's no way this guy could afford a house. True, that does sound right, and you don't even know me. You're like, there's not. I don't think though. I don't know what's going on. That is true. I think that's unlikely, but somehow I got one. I don't know. And I think when you say bought a house, past tense, bought a house is probably one of the more overstated ways of saying almost anything, right? I got almost 30 years of payments left. I'm not even close to bought a house. That's like saying, I ran a marathon. Really? Well, I'm about to put on my shoes, but yeah, I did it. I finished that. That is past tense on that one. So anyway, I got this house, and it's small, not tiny, but small. And I have been doing some house owning things the last year or so that I've never thought about doing before. For instance, I went shopping for a tree for my front yard, which is just a weird thing to even do because there are trees like all over in nature, but if you want a specific spot, you got to pay for it. And they're pretty expensive. And so, and the reason I want to get a tree is because the sun, you've seen it, super hot. It's at my house like every day, right? And I'm trying to block it and stuff. Some people call that shade. I didn't want to use a bunch of homeowner lingo, but sometimes there's some renters here. So anyway, I'm like, where do I get a tree? So I went north on I-25. I took exit 235. I went west a couple of miles to the tree farm. Yeah, some of you at home are singing along. Thank you. Singing along with me. The tree farm, yes, where they have free-range trees and real organic. And they milk them, presumably. Otherwise, it'd be a tree ranch. An argument I've had in the parking lot. You don't want to get into it. But anyway, I wanted a big old tree. I wanted like a big old tree. And they just had little ones. That's the way they start. I know. I know that, and you know that. And except I said something, and then the guy there starts lecturing me like, no. And like 7 or 8 years, this here's going to be a beautiful shade tree. That's what he's saying to me. 7 or 8 years. That's how far out he thinks I'm planning for anything really but shade, right? I can get a hat this afternoon. It's going to solve most of that problem, but he thinks I'm a planner, so now I got to go with it. Like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to go home and turn on my oven 2 or 3 degrees because I might get hungry in 2027. And so I just want to be ready because I'm a planner. So anyway, I got my tree. He's a rescue, and he's doing great. He really is. Thinking about getting him a vest, see if I can take him on the plane. I don't know all the rules. But anyway, so I got my house, I got my tree, and I have a cat. Do we have any cat people out there? Make some noise, cat people. Yep, that's exactly the energy that brings to a show right there. There was one tiny little almost applause in the background. I know. If you're at home, if you have a cat, that's awesome. Like most people, I didn't plan to have a cat. I don't know if I seem like a cat guy. Don't answer that. But I didn't plan to have a cat. That's, I know what everybody says. But what happened was a kitten, baby version of a cat, crawled into my backyard from the alley, and its leg was all messed up and dangling down. And so I did what anyone would do in that situation. I called another comedian and go, would this be good for my act or whatever? And so, no, I actually called Dr. Kevin, and he said, take it to the vet. I'm like, that sounds great. That's what I was going to do. So I thought I would take, this is what I thought I would do. I'd take the kitten to the vet, drop it off, and leave. And that would be the end of this. Like, obviously, I'd done a great deed. They would be super excited. I brought in a cat that needed help, and they'd applaud. A couple quick pictures just for the lobby. Not at all what happened. So they wanted me, they said, first of all, is this your cat? I'm like, no, do I seem like a cat guy? Don't answer that. And they said, well, if it's not your cat, you got to take it somewhere else, and they're probably going to take care of it. Yeah. Tough situation to be in, particularly when people in line behind me heard that. And so that was a tough spot for me to be in. And so I said, okay, I guess I'm going to adopt. What do I have to do? Simple process. Just give us your credit card, and then that'll be it. I thought, okay, all right, well, how much could this cost to have this kitten fixed? And this is what the lady said. She literally said this. She goes, oh, you won't pay more than $1,000. I said, you are exactly right. I for sure will not pay more than $1,000 to fix a cat. I have known a half hour. Now, I was wrong about that, but initially I really thought I felt like I stood my ground. The next day they called me and they said, your cat's leg is all messed up. And I go, wow, you guys are really good. That is why I brought in. And they said, well, we're going to have to amputate her leg. She does not use it, so she won't even notice. And I said, well, that's hard to believe. I have a room in my house I don't use that often, but I think I would notice if it was gone one day. Wasn't there a room there or a leg or something? And then she said this. She's like, and I said, okay, so, well, then do I get to keep that leg? And I know that sounds awful when you hear it the first time, but let me explain. I brought in a full cat, and for somewhere around $1,000, I'm leaving them with 3/4 of a cat. So I felt like, unless you're going to knock $250 off the price, I feel like I should get all the pieces back, and not like I had a ton of ideas what I'm going to do with a cat leg, but it'd been a day, so I had a few. I was like, I could put that over the fireplace. That'd be pretty cool. Good start, conversation starter. It could be a stamp for good work, right? Anything. But anyway, I did not get to keep it. So I took my cat home, my three-legged cat home, and you would think with only one front paw, she could not do a lot of damage. You'd be incorrect. She did a ton of damage. Scratched up everything, destroyed all the leather in my house, the couch, the chair, the chaps I like to wear on Thursdays, and that's my tie-in with the show. Okay, you can't see that, but that was a good tie-in. Anyway, I got a lot of advice, and one of the advice that the thing people seemed to say was maybe you should get a second cat. That's what they kept saying. Get a second cat, which is terrible advice, right? I mean, if you say someone's having marital problems, have you thought about a second wife? Is that something maybe? That way they get all tired out. The time to get home. But anyway, so I got my cat house. And my cat, her name is Lucille. Lucille -1 wheel. So you can see her. If you're on the Instagram, you can. All right. So I guess that's it for me. I could keep going on and on for another hour, but I guess I'm done. Thank you all for having me. Have a great night, and hopefully you'll raise a lot more money. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Curtis, or Chris, since I'm so bad with names, Jaja. Don't think I won't remember that, but I deserve that for sure. Chris, thank you very much. That was fantastic. And folks at home, hopefully you enjoyed as much as we did here. We were holding in our laughter. There really was no reason. All of us are going to have stomach aches later because that was awesome. But speaking of names, I do want to just mention this before as we kind of wrap some things up. Had a couple more folks come in that I would like to say. We had another anonymous donor at the $100 level. And some of these I might trip over again, but I think we have Robert Logan came in. There's a Jackie Bonavita. I'm not sure if I mentioned that one before. We had Holly Soriano, Allie Carlson, and there might have been a couple more in there. And I'll just read the last one, Allison Shimmer. I might have already said that one. But again, folks, thank you so much for those donations. And we're actually going to give you a little bit of a total here in just a few minutes. Oh, good, you have that up there. But I've brought Mr. Brandon Busby back up here because now it's time for our final prize drawing of the night. And this prize includes deluxe accommodations and breakfast for two at the Omni Interlaken in Broomfield. Not only will you get to relax, but you will also receive a gift certificate for 18 holes of golf at their golf course, as well as 2 gift certificates for a 50-minute Mokura massage. And it's a prize worth over $1,000. It's a great golf course. You're going to absolutely love it. Beautiful hotel. So get your tickets ready. And Brandon, if you wouldn't mind, mix it up good. Here we go. The winner is 576523. 576523. If you're holding that number, you are going to get this final prize drawing, which is the breakfast for two at the Omni, the golf, the massage there, a wonderful package. Again, 576523. We'll see if we can't get you a name there. And Brandon, do we have one there? If you don't mind, I'm going to steal his iPad for a second here. We have Anya and Mike and Smith? Smith. Oh, there you go. Anya and Mike Smith, congratulations on our final prize drawing right there. So we're close to the end, but before we go, I would like to give a total of the evening, and we'd like to say the whole total here. Yeah, folks, this has been a wonderful evening. Really happy to be a part of it. Some of the people behind the scenes here, the work, the effort that they put in, unbelievable to make a night like this happen. You, unbelievable for making it a priority to make this night happen. And to not hold you in suspense any longer, our grand total of everything so far this evening, we crossed $90,000, folks. It's $90,896.78. Thank you so much. You can clap. Hopefully you're doing it at home. And I'm just going to turn it over to Brandon one more time. And Brandon, just do you have any final words to to wrap up the evening.
Just blown away by the generosity of this community. Thank you all so much for your support of PRA. We've got another snow day to celebrate tomorrow. So hopefully you can finish off those bottles of wine and be taken good care of. But in all seriousness, it's just incredible how this community has rallied this year, not just financially and philanthropically, but even just the support that I know you've all given our staff, the staff have given our families, and the administration. So just thank you for such a special evening and continuing to be flexible in the midst of a Saturday/Monday gala and everything else that's changed along the way. So thank you to our community.
Well, thank you everyone for attending PRA's 9th annual gala, and on behalf of Prospect Ridge Academy and all the people they serve, we thank you for your generosity and commitment, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.